Salve, salve galerinha! Temos aqui o melhor time da competição até o momento, PENTANET, obviamente, contra os campeões aí de um campeonatinho que rolou no passado. O campeonato do bairro. A Damwon. PENTANET tá o time mais divertido dessa porra até agora. Os caras estão sempre com um sorriso no rosto, sempre jogando for fun. Enquanto no outro... E eles estão melhores que esse Nine até o momento. Vamos ser bem sinceros. Mas vamos lá. Oh, tiraram o Silas do Showmaker? Eles querem pegar de Star, então.
I mean, we saw them try that against RNG, right? We saw them try to just change the game up. You're not going to beat them in a head-to-head, just straight-up standard vanilla game of League of Legends, so we want to see creativity from PENTANET. They'll start off with a Lee Sin first pick here in the draft, as Lucian, Renekton, Silas, Morgana, Varus, and Thresh are all banned away.
Yep, and while I did mention last game, Lee Sin is normally top, that has not been true for PENTANET. It has actually been 4 games mid lane for Chaz.
Vamos ver, tá, beleza. Udyr. Esse Udyr já nega o potencial de um... Cara, a Kai'Sa continua muito roubada, é impressionante. Esse campeão precisa tomar um... Se a Kai'Sa perder a invisibilidade, já muda tudo. Gostei da composição da PGG na real. Até o momento. O Khan é muito menos opressor do que o Xiaohu. Muito menos. Tipo, muito menos mesmo. Não tem como comparar esses dois jogadores.
And he'll have his opportunity to run the show against Pabu here in this game. Yep, Jace is the answer for Khan into the Gnar top. So again, it should be Lee Sin mid. That is going to be in the favor of Khan. This is an advantageous matchup. You also have the jungle 1v1 advantage. You should have a 2v2 advantage. So this is going to be a tough one for BioPanther. But I will say, I think BioPanther has been the standout for me.
E meu amigo, vou ser bem sincero, que eu acho que a PGG
and BioPanther's having a pretty good game, generally speaking. So we'll see if he can hang on here, withstand the onslaught against this Jace, against Canyon if he wants to.
A PG tá montando uma composição de teamfight bem forte aqui, cara. Pelo menos eu tô enxergando isso bem tranquilamente.
We already got 2 of them. It's Senna and Leona banned away as Samira is taken off the table here as well. Samira, one of those 80 carries you don't see as much in competitive play, but she's also very...
Mas tiraram Samira do Brady. Foi inteligente essa retirada. Eu vejo que o Brady ainda pode jogar de... Sendo bem sincero, eu acho que o Brady ainda pode jogar de Zaya.
Nocturne being banned out by PENTANET here, and it's back to Damwon for their 4th pick.
E ele pode jogar bem tranquilamente Zaya aqui. A Zaya acabou de ficar melhor ainda. É, exatamente.
That is one of the best snowballing marksmen in the game, if not the best. You know, we've all had those games where Samira gets an early double kill.
Eu gosto da Zaya. É perfeito pra esse matchup.
She's pentakilling your whole team with the ultimate.
Keyboard breakers. Yeah, I've had some of those.
Yeah, so those are the kind of games that Damwon looking to avoid.
E alistar agora? Ou o Rakan mesmo? Não, o Rakan contra o Nautilus é muito pedir pra perder ele. Eu acho que o alistar é melhor aqui. O Alistar tá open, Silas não tá open, é perfeito. Exatamente, a melhor situação possível para Alistar. Eles já tiraram na primeira rodada o Silas, então tá perfeito. Não tem risco dele roubar essa ultimate, de fazer essa coisa. E a teamfight da PGG tá desagradável. Eu imagino que seja mais um campeão que pode ir pra side lane no mid. Não gosto, acho que a Zoe apanha muito do Lee Sin, apanha assim. Sabe aquela apanhada com gosto? Nossa, é isso mesmo que vai acontecer. Nossa, que triste.
Fits really well with her composition. Traditionally, you do see Zoe with at least one additional
Assim, funciona com o Jace, funciona com a Kai'Sa e tal. Mas assim, assim, sabe?
Up some of the PGG champions, and then you utilize the Nautilus, the Udyr, to start up these fights. The Kai'Sa can fly in to follow that up, and you look to wipe them off the map here. So, will be pretty exciting. I do think that Lee Sin should have pressure in mid lane as long as they're playing it, at an even level, but that's not a given. Showmaker is an incredible mid laner. That being
Cara,
said,
o Lee Sin, ele só perde essa lane se ele for muito bundão. Ou se o Udyr participar muito da rota dele. Muito. Tipo assim.
You can shrug off almost all poke from some of these mid laners in the early game and just relentlessly shove, group up with your jungler, try to get things done on the map, and to me, that's Pentanet's chance. When we saw them play Lee Sin earlier, and Lee Sin was locked in lane, stuck under his tower against RNG, that to me was actually kind of what ended that game, because Lee Sin needs to be moving around the map, needs to be proactive, getting things done, and I think especially against a team like Damwon, you can't be comfortable when you're at parity. You've got to create.
Já começamos com pausa?
So that's what we're sort of looking at here compared to last game. Because the question that I wanted to pose you is, we literally started this off by saying Pentanet is looking for an upset here in this matchup. Yeah. I think most people that are approaching this game from looking at the numbers, looking at the stats, would expect Damwon to be able to win. So I've been told that we have a pause as the game is starting, so I'm just going to ask this question that could have a potentially longer answer since we have the time to ask it. Along with Lee Sin in particular being able to not be stuck under the turret and sort of unlocking him to roam around and be that playmaker, what does this early game need to look like for Pentanet specifically for you to believe they have an honest chance against Damwon?
I mean, it's tough, right? Yeah. If you're closing your eyes and turning off the nameplates, the answer is very different than if you're answering for Pentanet versus Damwon.
We have nameplates enabled in this question.
Nameplates enabled. I'm not going to start believing unless they're like 5K up in the early game, right? Like Damwon has not had a good early game and has been able to pull off so many wins despite having poor early games against stronger teams than Pentanet. And that is my honest answer, is that I think it needs to be a monumental lead for Pentanet to really have a good shot at closing it out. I think that when you look over at the other side, Damwon is going to be tough to deal with.
No top, a pressão favorece o Jace, claro.
Only really the Alistar for engage. So if the
Isso não deixa nenhuma dúvida, sabe?
Or stifled in some way, it's going to be really tough to actually close the gap to the Zoe and the Jace, and very likely Pentanet gets poked out and then taken down. So I do think they need an enormous lead, given the compositions, but also given the players here, because Damwon is so adept at playing out the mid and late game team fights, even from a deficit against the best teams in the world.
Yeah, Pentanet definitely has their work cut out for them here, but honestly, once we get past the pause, I am looking forward to seeing what sort of creativity they bring to this game, because I don't expect them to just walk quietly to their lanes and say, all right, guys, let's have a normal laning phase, shake hands and everything. I want to see Pentanet really try something wacky again. I want to see this team experiment. When the deck feels this stacked against you, when you're up against the team that everybody had as number 1 or number 2 coming into this tournament, you've got to be able to try something new.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Pabu is reporting that his runes did not save. League officials are investigating.
Shit.
We will give you an update as we receive more info ourselves. But that is what we are waiting on. So I assume Pabu has the wrong runes, unfortunately for him. But hopefully that'll get all fixed up. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you can look towards some of the crazy stuff. I'm not expecting a lane swap because Sion's not in the game, right? Sion, I think, was the key part of what enabled them to go for that earlier today against RNG. You have the Sion execute on bot side, take a buff, so you 3-buff to start it off. You go down, you get Dove, who cares? You're Sion, you clean it up with a zombie, you TP back to lane. That you can really pull off.
A Pentanet agora, tipo assim, ela pode fazer 3-1, enquanto a Damwon só pode fazer 4-1. É tipo, eles sempre vão ter alguém pra responder o Jace na side. A teamfight deles é muito grande, muito forte. Eles têm o wave clear com Rumble, Xayah, com Rumble e Xayah principalmente. Eles têm o wave clear close range com Lee Sin, no caso.
Because that's the only kind of point of inflection that I really do see. Alistar, I don't think, when you're talking about, especially the level 1, level 2, is going to be able to get that much done against the Nautilus.
Eles vão ter que refazer as runas, eu acho, né?
I think so much comes down to, can Chaz lane well enough against Showmaker here
Eu
to
acredito que
get the
sim.
push, to create opportunities to swing the jungle matchup, right? You know, you're thinking
Refizeram
Udyr
as
has an
runas?
advantageous matchup 1v1 against the Rumble.
Ué,
You're thinking
refizeram as
Jace
runas
has
ou ele
the
foi de
advantage
conquistador
against the
mesmo?
Gnar. So that is where it's really tough, and we're in the game, so...
Okay, I have an update. League officials determined that Pabu did not save his runes. It was user error, not an error in the client or in anything else.
Shit.
They have determined that it was Pabu's bad. It was his fail. So the game is going through without the rune changes. Now, fortunately for Pabu, it doesn't seem completely disastrous. It's not like he took Grasp of the Undying or something. Conqueror's...
Pelo menos
I mean, I think it's
conquistador
still pretty bad
funciona,
compared
mas
to
ainda é
Dark
meio
Harvest,
ruim.
but it's not the worst possible thing.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I was just cracking up to that barrel hook. not what you expect to see. I was like, well, they're gonna get decoy splash here. That sucks. Just face plant straight into a wall.
Sometimes it happens, man. You can't always be.
Yeah,
Look
meus
at that
amigos.
wall here. Who did that? Let's get a pause. That move, the wall move for sure.
Unlucky. Just a little bit of unlucky here early on. It's before the minion spawn. He's getting the bad shots out of his system now. But let's see if Damwon decides to go for anything super cheeky here. The ward will be left by Pentanet at their own.
They're gonna
blue.
start blue. Pretty
And
much
okay, they can
guaranteed.
see Khan, they can see Canyon, they know what's going on.
Yeah, now the question is, do you agree to split map or do you try to contest in some way? Because you have the losing jungle map up here, matchup for Pabu, I don't think you actually get an option. So I think it's like, sorry, bud, you know, you now have to play bot side. And good luck, BioPanther. You know, you're now going to be stuck on this island in a losing matchup, losing jungle matchup. You can see that Canyon's going over to the Gromp as well.
Pegou o ward, eles trocaram, tranquilo, ok. Só que a bot lane da Damwon vai subir. E o Zoe também vai descer. Ferrou.
Swap of sides on the map. Rumble will play towards bot side. But look at this. Actually, Damwon's all going back to protect the blue. This is disaster. Now it's going to be a full 3 quadrants because the bot lane had push, Zoe had push, everyone from Damwon comes back, stops Pabu from being able to even trade sides. So it's actually not a map split. It's just a, we get the whole map and you get nothing split, which I don't even know what that is.
Nossa, a vida do Pabu piorou muito agora.
Cloud9 scuttle crap. We
This
don't
is the
like
worst
those trade offers
in
ever.
the history of trade deals, maybe ever, Flowers.
That is not good stuff. When the best thing you can say about your level 2 as a jungler is at least I didn't give any gold when I died, it's not a good day. So Pabu's gonna have to go back to farming now. He lost his red buff, he's dead to the turret, and we'll just see Canyon get to have the time of his life in the jungle. 5-19
but
in the farm, Mr. Azael.
Bright side, when he kills the Krugs here, he's gonna double his CS.
Okay, that's the, I would call that silver lining, but it feels more like glitter on a really, really dark cloud, as you can see.
It's kind of more like a gum lining, like, you know, when it gets stuck to your shoe.
Like on the bottom of a chair at a public school cafeteria. Oh, it's nasty.
That's where we're at, you know?
Oh.
You got to deal with the harsh realities here, Flowers.
Oh, no, man.
The best you can hope for. It could be something worse, you know? I'm not going to go there, but it could be even worse.
Okay, well, right now, at least there's only one of these little scuttle crabs taken. Maybe Pabu can make his way into the top side river. He's got Chaz next to him with that mid lane priority, so Pabu at least won't get double crabbed. And considering his start, that is something that could have very easily happened. So we call this a dub here for Pentanet, grabbing that crab there in the top side. Khan's just playing back here, allowing BioPanther to shove out the lane. And we'll just see Khan be able to farm it up nice and easy. No problem with it. Pabu in the enemy jungle, stealing away the Krugs, just trying to
Finalmente o Pabu vai conseguir farmar pouquinho. Mas acho que ele vai morrer. Eu acho que ele vai morrer. Não vai morrer.
Khan can come down, Canyon can wait on the other side. As long as Khan wins the 1v1, you don't actually need to go over the wall here as Canyon. So Flash Force, now Canyon can come.
Yep, Pabu already flashing, walking back towards his own top laner.
O Chess tá jogando que nem bundão.
First blood over to Canyon, and they're about to make it 2. Bear slap into bringing down the hammer, and Khan picks it up.
Oh, you really hate to see it happen. Pentanet down about 2k gold here, 4 minutes in.
O Chess tá jogando muito bundão, cara. Impressionante.
For the OCE boys.
This is not the ideal state of the early game. Pentanet down 6.8 to 8.5k here in the gold. Showmaker has control over the mid lane. Khan has control over the top. And here is how the 2v2 went down. Khan just not afraid to throw it down here at the very start.
Yeah, I mean, this is just really smart, right? If Canyon flashes over the wall, Pabu flashes out, it's not really a big deal. Showmaker actually had prio. You know, I talked about the importance of Lee Sin being able to move to try to make this composition work. Lee Sin could not move. He was under his tower. It's Showmaker that makes the first move. Khan forces out the flash. Canyon is there to follow it up. And Showmaker is there to secure that second kill. Damwon playing this early game out so smart. You know, and one of the things that's always so interesting is a lot of times in these kind of map trade situations where one team's like, all right, I take top, you take bot, you both kind of high five and you just agree to it. You don't always have to agree to it, and Damwon definitely didn't this game.
Well, we got Decoy getting away here with a headbutt as an escape mechanism back on towards Canyon. So Damwon try to make a move here on the bottom lane, but they will not find any kills from it here so far. Back up in topside, it's Khan continuing to just dominate the lane here. Canyon, after having the success in his first bit of jungling, was able to go back by the completed Ionian Boots of Lucidity. During the great run at them fast jungle meta of 2021 spring, we got to see these items be incredibly important for these champions where movement speed means so much, like Udyr. And so Canyon will be all over the map, picking up the first Drake here 6.5 minutes in for Damwon.
Yep, I think it makes a lot of sense here as the early purchase, not feeling overly pressured to go for the tabbies or anything like that. So just grabbing Lucidity, grab that early bit of move speed, and you can see he's about 800 gold ahead here.
Cara,
getting pushed in. They're looking for a re-engage bot side.
se o Chess, se ele continuar jogando recuado e pussy, né, digamos assim.
Front line having a flash away, stays alive. Ignite won't kill him. Outplay maybe from Praedyth, but no, they're stacking up the plasma. They're going to be taking him down too. Dredge line comes out. Praedyth goes down.
Praedyth trying to go for the big play there. They needed something special. They know they need some winning lane to swing this
Se eles
back.
continuarem jogando desse jeito,
Mid lane has been under his tower the whole game, so Praedyth,
não sei que medo é esse que a PGG dá de criar jogada.
For the redirect over onto Barrel, but he can't get it. He just goes down as well. So it's now 3 heavily winning lanes plus jungle advantage, all on the side of Damwon. And this one, I think, is about to start snowballing out of control.
Yeah, 3,000, 7.5 minutes in. Look at the plates just being slammed here in top lane as BioPanther arrives back to lane now. Still about 25 CS behind his opponent. Khan's just going to continue keeping the tempo high, keeping the wave shoved in, making sure that Damwon has control over this top side of the map, because look at Canyon. He's in the enemy jungle doing whatever the hell he wants. Yes, it's the Pentanet jungle, but when Damwon has control over both of the lanes around it, all of a sudden Pabu's the one who's afraid to walk into the fog of war.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chaz has farmed well, you know. So as far as the farm goes, as far as the gold goes, he's almost even, I believe. He's very close there. But the bigger deal is the fact that he can't get any pressure. He can't move around the map. Showmaker is always the one to push, then roam. That is the reason that Chaz is actually up in farm here. And that is really problematic because it's the same thing that happened to him on the Lee Sin against RNG. And when you cannot be proactive on the Lee Sin, this pick does not have as much value.
Oxi, lagou, mas voltou? Tá bom.
Guys,
eu achei que o Lee Sin, tipo, era um pique tão bom, mas foi tão mal executado. Ele tá fazendo letalidade ainda. Tipo, ele ainda fez uma build troll pra piorar, sabe? É bem merda isso. E o Praedyth não tem nível 6 ainda, ele não pode ficar sozinho na lane. Meu Deus, são tantos erros tão ruins, tão amadores assim, que eu fico até impressionado, cara.
So really, he just has to proc the phase rush and walk away. That's why the observers, rightly so, pan down to that bottom side, where Praedyth is going down again. It's now 2 kills, 20 CS, 2 plates, all on that top side. And BioPanther, you got a Herald behind you, bud.
E acabou, né? Olha isso.
Mega and they have Equalizer, so you gotta pray.
Que runa é essa do Lee Sin? Que build é essa do Lee Sin, cara? Que coisa troll. Tipo, legal, entretenimento e tal, mas né, tá faltando aí gameplay, né? Enfim.
Canyon continues the chase, but Pabu will be fast enough to escape. And here's
Tá
Chaz, but
bem
he's
ruim
not to the play in time. This is what you were talking about, Azael. When Lee Sin
Eles estão
isn't
jogando muito
unlocked to
mal.
roam, when
Nossa,
Lee Sin
muito
can't
mal.
leave that mid lane comfortably, he shows up just to go ahead and attend the funeral of his teammates.
Yeah, it's just so tough, right? You know, in other
E é
matchups,
principalmente
it
tomada de
wouldn't be so
decisão,
important that
sabe?
the Lee Sin can get on the map. But when you have losing 1v1 in top lane, when
São
you
umas
have
decisões
losing
tão
1v1
burras
in
tomadas
jungle,
pela
the 2v2
Pentanet.
isn't any better, the bot lane is falling apart. There's just so much pressure on a
Lee
Sin
Sin
to be
jogando
able to get out there, be that
recuado,
playmaker,
não tá
be
fazendo
that difference
chicote,
maker,
ele tá
and he hasn't
fazendo
been able to do it
eclipse
just yet.
nesse Lee Sin.
And that was a really
Tipo,
quick from Juan, deserving some credit there.
Não
He
sei,
was able to
cara, não
react
posso
to
nem dar
Biopanther.
mérito
If you
pro...
land the
Não
Mega
posso
Gnar
nem
and
dar
the
mérito pra
Equalizer
Damwon,
does
sabe?
get
Tem que
flare,
dar
maybe
demérito
you
pra
can at least
BGG.
salvage something from it, but instead,
Sério,
10.5
gente, eu não
minutes
tô
in,
zoando.
you're
É
at
um jogo que tá me
5.5K
dando,
gold lead, all the
sei lá,
objectives
raiva
going in
de
the favor
narrar,
of Damwon
preguiça de
as
narrar, não
well.
sei.
They're going to be setting up for this Cloud Dragon here and looking to speedrun this game.
Yeah, and remember back in
O
the
jogo tá
LCO,
simplesmente
man,
muito ruim,
Pentanet
sabe?
wasn't exactly a team that had a high forward percentage. They weren't building those leads passively by having greater farm, by securing more objectives. A lot of their early strength came from kills and assists, right? They would pick the right fights, they would get ahead through that. But in an 0-5 game, nothing to be found, man. Pentanet just feels like the early game has completely collapsed with this 6,000 gold deficit. Damwon are exactly where they want to be. This game is theirs for the taking.
Yeah, I mean, Damwon just entered this game so intelligently. I think they got advantages in the draft, but also they're level 1. The 3-man invade top side, knowing you have the advantage and knowing you can actually peel back.
And here we go again. Canyon has arrived. Decoy and Praedyth getting themselves away. Pabu's here too, so Praedyth will not die again. Does still have the Xayah ulti as well, so Damwon doesn't want to go completely ham on a dive. Meanwhile, back in the top lane, it's Khan just continuing to absolutely slam in this 1v1 with the Eclipse completed. Remember, all he has to do is hit you twice, and he immediately gets that bonus max health damage. He gets that shield, which is so effective at preventing those little bits of turret damage. That one turret shot that you would get for that, completely nullified by the shield.
Yeah, I mean, you see Gnar get chunked to what, 40, 50%, something like that? And Khan didn't even hit the powered shot blast. If he hit that, he could have potentially just chased him down with the phase rush for a kill. So Biopanther is getting completely shoved back, but Damwon just looking to continue invading.
Okay, Barrel and Canyon going for the invade
É,
here on
meus
the enemy
amigos.
red box. Showmaker coming through with a paddle star.
Sinceramente, foi
Let's see if they can finish anybody off here. Doesn't look like it.
uma combinação de tomadas de decisão ruins, falta de... Não digo nem falta de mecânica, eu digo falta de uso das mecânicas que eles tinham,
And
sabe?
meanwhile, Khan taking everything from the top side jungle, so Pabu losing his camps up there. Chaz gonna have to retreat. You can see the tower being taken in bot lane as well here by Ghost. This is really, really tough. I mean, Damwon have played this out incredibly well. I do think that the level 1 was played so intelligently, not only, you know, the invade, knowing you had the early power, but the defense, you know, winning out in the 1v1 and the 2v2, mid and bot, defending without even your jungler being there, just retreating back into your jungle, pushing Pabu out, forcing that execute. Really, from the word go, as soon as that happened, Pabu's kind of just in this game, right?
Cara, o Pabu tá... O Chess tá completamente AFK e eu acho que ele vai fazer garra do espreitador no Lee Sin. Eu tô realmente achando que ele vai fazer garra do espreitador nesse Lee Sin.
They know exactly where you are because they've taken all your camps. They know you have to try something, so they ward it out. And when that's prevented, it's just like, what do? You're going to be so far down.
Sendo bem sincero, esse jogo
Here
já acabou.
comes Udyr, and he is ready to fight. Chaz tries to get away, dashes away with the safeguard of the Warden. Because Pabu's there, they decide that they don't want to chase this any further. And we'll see if Damwon goes for anything back in mid. Doesn't look like it. And Azael, I'm going to ask a question here because this is almost a 9,000 gold lead, 14 minutes into the game.
I liked your haircut better before.
No. Well, that just means you don't like my haircut. I'm gonna pretend.
No, your haircut now is great, but your haircut before was majestic, and I know that's what you're gonna ask.
Okay. Well, I appreciate what I think.
You were the Fabio of League of Legends.
Maybe that was a backhanded compliment. I don't know. It was some kind of compliment. I'm gonna have to think about that later. Anyway,
Eu acho que o Damwon vai querer fazer o jogo perfeito, vai querer fazer...
I'll take that one as a compliment. But the question I'm gonna ask you now,
clean
Mr.
no jogo.
with us being 100 gold away from a 10k lead at 14.5 minutes, do you think this game will last longer than 21 minutes on the dot? I will give you the opportunity to take Baron and have it for 60 seconds.
I say yes. I say
Okay.
it'll last longer. Yeah.
Longer than 21 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say over that. I would guess under 25 is my guess. I mean, Damwon, I think, you know, if they get like, if PGG opt into a random fight and they get aced and they can just happen to end the game before that, they will. But my guess is that knowing Damwon, they'll just create a massive lead, force it Baron early, you know, get the ace around there, and then look to actually push and end the game with the Baron buff. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's kind of my assumption here, just based on what they've shown.
Oh no, Pabu, there's an Udyr in your jungle and he's not leaving anytime soon. Barrels
O jogo já começou errado quando
That is such a scary combination. It would be so difficult to be able to not only outrun Udyr, but then dodge all the CC coming out from Nautilus as well. Canyon taking the opportunity to go for a Rift Herald here, 15.5 minutes into the game, picking up this second one here for the squad. And they'll be able to use that to take whichever turrets they feel like. They've already got 4 under their belt. Both the tier 1 and tier 2 in that top lane have fallen. Remember, and now it's time to apply the pressure elsewhere. BioPanther mid-hop getting knocked away with a hammer. Flashes out, but the flash follow from Khan.
Eu não tenho nem o que falar nesse jogo, cara. Eu tô muito desapontado. Eu tô muito desapontado.
Canyon does grab the Herald, but he just goes back to farm his side of the map with it. They get the solo kill. It will mean that bottom lane tower.
Esse jogo aqui é um meme completo, sabe? Não tem o que fazer.
So gonna be tough for PGG to hang on, and we'll see how long they can. I mean, if they get another kill here and Canyon drops Herald, I mean, they could just honestly maybe end the game right with that, but it just feels like Damwon don't want to take any risks. As much as they are so far ahead and this game is pretty well decided, it's really important for Damwon to pick up the wins here too. Right? You know, they're looking to secure their spot.
Well, we already got the fight with Pabu being taken down.
Beleza, deram a teamfight. Será que vão pegar o primeiro kill? Não, eles não conseguiram nem pegar a primeira kill. Meu Deus, que tristeza, meus amigos. Que tristeza. 14 mil de vantagem.
They're gonna get the ace as well. It will be delayed.
It's gonna take a while. He's gonna have to chase after him. Oh, these stupid blast cones.
It's kind of cruel almost. You know, Canyon just doesn't even care about ending the game. Like, he's just farming out the Raptors. He's going for more counter jungling. He's gonna go grab the dragon. He has the Herald. He could have just dropped it. Maybe end the suffering.
You gotta pad those stats, man. They gotta make it so in their next games we can bring up these crazy numbers about how I'm actually. If anybody on the observers, spectator team can answer this point, does Beryl have more money than Pabu at this point? Because with all the turrets, with all the plates and everything, I'm pretty sure Beryl has more money than Pabu.
Meu Deus do céu, coitado do Pabu, cara. O Pabu não teve jogo. O Pabu, ele só não é o membro mais pobre do time por conta do suporte do time dele. Não, esse jogo não tem jogo. Esse jogo já acabou nos primeiros níveis, tá? Só pra deixar bem claro. Pra mim não tinha não tem nem o que brincar, não tem nem o que falar nesse jogo. Tipo, literalmente a Damwon só morre se quiser. Agora. Olha o item do Lee Sin, sabe? Tipo, ou você faz quebra-passos ou você faz modrenário. Caso contrário, você tá trolando. Então, né?
It's just not comparable.
Oh, that shock blast, and that was through a scrap shield.
Okay. Alright, we got Damwon sieging up outside the inhibitor turret of the bottom lane. Still 1.5 minutes before Baron is even.
Fica subentendido que ele tá trolando, vamos dizer assim, né? Oh, meu Deus, nice! Primeira kill. Meu Deus, parabéns.
Nicely done. They still have the Rift Herald. Canyon will drop it likely, I would think. Oh my god!
Oh, that was the classic Zoe experience right there. You had a health bar, then you didn't. See you later.
Agora Damwon vai fazer pela primeira vez nesse MSI.
I believe they might be saving that Rift Herald for the end of the game right here, going after the Nexus turrets. There are 3 players dead on the side of Pentanet, and Damwon are pushing towards that Nexus. Shelly will find the first Nexus turret. Second one's going to be the target now, but we will not see the Rift Herald charge yet again. The remaining turret's about to fall. Nexus now exposed. I gave you 21 minutes, Azale. They didn't even need.
Meus amigos, 19.25. Meu Deus, até lagou. O jogo foi tão fácil que até travou a internet. Bizarro. Foi uma pisadona tão pesada nos caras que o jogo até travou. Mas, guys, assim, sabe o que é? Quando você tinha um draft, você tinha um plano de jogo, você tinha uma ideia, mas parece que a PGG chegou e jogou a ideia pela janela, jogou tudo errado, fez tudo errado. E o Pablo não salvou. O Pablo errou já em não apertar para salvar as runas. Que aí foi falha dele, como já foi mostrado agora. Sabe? Então, assim, foram uma sequência de erros e escolhas ruins e coisas que você fica. Até que ponto, né? O que. Sabe, esse era o entretenimento, e aí você vai dizer, ah, não, mas a Damwon é muito boa. Não, cara, é fácil quando você tá jogando contra um time que não te oferece desafio, que não tenta te desafiar, sabe? E pra mim, assim, foi ridículo, foi ridículo. E a Damwon tá 3-1 e eu não vejo mais a PGG jogando nem contra a Cloud9 pra ganhar, eu acho que a PGG tá jogando só pelo meme agora. E assim, é meio idiota, sabe? Não é muito legal ver esse tipo de jogo rolar, sabe? Acho que pro League of Legends isso não acrescenta nada, sabe? Isso não acrescenta absolutamente nada pro League of Legends e é isso. Então, guys, muito obrigado por aguentarem eu reclamando durante 20 minutos de game sobre como esse jogo foi uma merda. E como sempre, meus amigos, né? GG e até logo.